All right, all right, all right, all right. We are live right now. This is a live stream that I did, uh, you know, by surprise because I didn't really plan it. I just didn't have any other time frame to do it, so I might as well just go and do it right now. Uh, doesn't matter if you miss it live because what I'm going to talk about, it's important that you listen to it in the recording when it's gonna be recorded so you can watch the replay. Today I'm gonna be responding to some anti-vegan nonsense. I'm gonna give it a little few minutes to see if anyone shows up because it'll be more fun that way. But doesn't matter. This stream is just for me to say a bunch of stuff that I have to say, and because my recording device, which is my phone, doesn't have the capacity to, record extended videos, sadly. That's why my videos are somewhere between 4 to 9 minutes long. Anything longer than that is there's no storage. I refuse to buy storage. So, well, I refuse, and also I have no money. So to purchase it. So no, that's why also. So yeah, uh, so I rather do this live stream where I can talk for hours and it'll be recorded anyway. Now it won't be hours. I'll make this one really quick. I'll make this one, yeah, really quick and stuff. Now I cannot share the screen because I don't know how, and I don't think I can over the phone. So I don't know. So I will read this. This is some anti-vegan nonsense, but like I said, before we get into that, some good news. Hey, Martin, Kevin, how's everything? Nice to see you here. Uh, oh man, yes. Today we have something really spicy. For today, I'm gonna be talking about some stuff. It's gonna get really. It can get kind of hostile here. Oh man. Hmm. So you might see some of that classic unhinged AJ thing. So let's see. But first, like I was saying, the Phantom. Now, what happened to the Phantom in his? If you saw the last video, what was he from another planet? What happened? What's his real identity? Is he dead? Is he alive? What happened there? Well, oh man, that was really fun. That was really fun to do, and well, nothing happened. The Phantom, you know, Phantom is just a character, so it doesn't matter really what happened to him. There's no continuity. There's no story arc here or anything. He's just a character. He does whatever a Phantom does. Like, he's whatever we want him to be. That's the beauty of the Phantom. Oh man. The Phantom was great. Oh, thank you, Martin Kane. I think the Phantom will return at some point. Just don't listen to that thing that says that he will not return. I don't believe it. I think he will return, but I needed to give him some kind of. I needed some payback for that prank he pulled on me a few months back, which I wanted. That it's sad because that video I wanted it to be the best video on my channel, and it ended up being the worst because the execution was just not there. But it was going to be the first time that you saw me and the Phantom at the same time on screen. It kind of was at the end, but the execution wasn't all that great. But the Phantom, oh man, it's a great character. He might show up for the ceremony of the Numquat. Maybe he'll uh, do some presentation of some sort. I don't know. Maybe. Uh, I'm still not sure how that's gonna play out. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the harsh stuff, the real issue of today. The Numquat, how's that going? Well, I'm still planning out what's gonna happen, or if I'm gonna have different categories, or categories, different winners and stuff. Instead of just the cat of the year, I'm gonna have that. Obviously, it's gonna be the main award, but there's gonna be other categories and stuff. It's gonna be really awesome, and there's gonna be different segments and stuff. They're gonna be really fun. Um, that's happening obviously on December the 5th, just like it did last year. It was also that same date. So yeah, probably December 5 is gonna be day of the numquat basically. Hey, hello there, Ethical Psytrance Project. Good to see you here too. So right, so getting into the thing with the anti-vegan nonsense that is, it's this. I mean, I guess this is not new, really. This has been going around for quite a while. There's many people outside of veganism that obviously we understand that they want to boycott this thing. They don't understand veganism, so they want to tank it. They want to destroy it, if you will. But they can't, because the idea that animals are individuals whose life belong to them and not to us will never die. It's an idea that is just the right one. It's not incorrect. So it's never going to die out. Any of those news articles with like, oh, well, Beyond Burger is not selling as much as they thought, so is veganism dead? Or this vegan restaurant now serves meat. Is veganism dead? Those kind of alarming yellow press types of news articles, they know they're missing the point, but they don't care because their idea is to destroy the idea of veganism. So they tie veganism to some product, but veganism is not a product. And it's just an ethical stance against the exploitation of animals. And that's not going to go away. I mean, all of these companies, Beyond or whatever, you cannot make them part of the vegan equation, because whether they're here or not, or whether they serve plant-based so-called options or not, they're not a factor. They're just a product. They're there to sell. So those companies are not vegan, and their products are not vegan or for vegans. Their products are just products. Just like, I don't know, water bottles exist, Coca-Cola exists, but it's not for an ethical stance of anything. It's just a product to be sold and bought and whatnot. So the same with these other companies. And vegan restaurants are not really, I mean, here's the thing. If there's a vegan restaurant owned by vegans, I mean, people who see the animals as the individuals that they are, they're never going to flip over and say, well, no, now I'm serving meat because I'm not making any profit. That would not be a vegan thing to do. And I think blaming veganism on your restaurant failing, I think is dishonest, and I don't think it tackles the real issue that restaurants fail all the time. And for example, I read this news that a popular chain in the U.S., Denny's, it's a restaurant chain that when I wasn't vegan, it used to be my favorite. It's like it's a typical American menu, like what you expect, like what you see from movies or TV shows, like the big breakfast with like huge pancakes and fried eggs and bacon and whatnot, and that kind of stuff, and coffee and that sort of thing. And Denny's at some point was really popular and stuff, was one of the most popular chains probably. It's been on a downward spiral too. And they don't serve anything vegan there. Like, I think their vegan option is like, I don't know, some steamed broccoli that they made by mistake or something. Because I don't really think that that's not a vegan place at all, or even plant-based anything. So they're closing down. They're shutting down 150 locations. I don't see any news article saying, "Oh, are Americans tired of eating animals?" I don't, I don't see that happening. I don't see any article saying, "Is veganism winning because Dennis is shutting down?" I don't see it, and it has nothing to do with that. It's just a restaurant chain. It's a business. Businesses fail all the time. And in this country, the United States, not only do they fail, they file for bankruptcy, but they file for protection under their bankruptcy. So what they do is the banks, they give them money anyway, and uh, you know, they sell out, they do whatever they're gonna do, they disappear, and then they come back as another entity, whatever, with a different legal name, whatever, and they continue to operate. Maybe at a smaller scale, but that's what they do. Often, not always. Some do disappear forever. Um, that doesn't mean anything. It's like saying, "Oh, Blockbuster." If anyone remembers, Blockbuster is like saying back in the day, "Oh, Blockbuster, went bankrupt." Is the end of cinema? No, it's not the end of cinema. They're still making movies today. People watch movies all the time. And so just because Blockbuster failed doesn't mean that the movie industry doesn't exist. Doesn't mean that people don't watch movies. It just means this business in particular failed. So the same goes to vegan restaurants who fail or that fail. It's the same thing. They're not failing because they're vegan. They're failing because they're businesses. And when you run a business, you run the risk of failing. That's just what it is. Um, So blaming it on, "Oh no, it's because the menu was vegan." That's just not true. That's just some kind of scapegoat, some kind of cop out to not deal with the fact that you ran a terrible business. That's all it is. You didn't know how to do it, and you didn't attract people. So it's all in the marketing. That's all it is. You want your business to be successful, it's all in the marketing. It doesn't have to be good. There's a bunch of stuff that is terrible, but it's very popular. Why? Because of marketing. They knew how to sell. So it doesn't matter if they're good or not. You know? So that's what it is. It's all in the marketing. So that's the name of the game. You wanna sell a lot and you have like a plant-based pancake, well, you need to market it. That's it. You have to invest in publicity. It's not like that movie where the voice says, "If you build it, they will come." No, they will not come. They you need to make a name for yourself. Sorry, let me see to take care of this thing here. Ah. All right, I'm back. So yeah, that's on that issue. I mean, it's very clear now. Yeah, my lighting is not very good. That's because, well, I have no lights. Let me see. Did it get better? No, it didn't. Oh man, it just keeps getting worse. Let me see. Let's see if I can do something with the light. Man alive. So yeah, what do you think? You think that like these vegan restaurants? I think they fail is because they're businesses. That's it. And they fail all the time. That's nothing to do with veganism. Okay, let me see. All right, I think it got a little bit better. The lighting is fine. I don't think it is, but thank you. And how about the audio? Is the audio good? Can you hear me well? All right, so I had a bunch of topics that I wanted to tackle, but I don't think I'll do it today because it's too much. So I will probably break it down into smaller segments. Today, I want to talk about something because I've seen this in the past few weeks. While the Phantom was taking care of the channel, I was away. Your lighting is fine. Audio is fine. Oh, thank you, USA EV. Um, while I was away and the Phantom was doing the stuff and the channel and the videos and stuff, I saw these things and I wanted to respond, but I thought, you know what? No, it's Fantober. I'm just gonna let that happen, and when it's over, I'll come back and do this responding thing. I'll respond to this. And again, it pains me to have to do this, but I have to. It's more nonsense from a certain someone who, at some point, I guess, he claimed to be vegan. I'm starting to doubt that he is. And I'm sorry to have to bring this up, but this guy, a few months ago or weeks ago, made a terrible community post about the issue with the carnivorous animals and whatnot, gave a terrible take on it. And then when people responded to that, he didn't like it. He didn't like the response. He didn't like the replies or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, dude, but if you say something dumb, you're gonna get a lot of, you know, pushback from that. Like you can't say something. And this guy, obviously, I'm referring to a certain Michael Tooney, who went by the name of Mike the Corn King, who previously went by the name of Mike the Musical Vegan Beast. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. Like, is he a Corn King? Is he a musical beast? Is he anything? No, he's just a heavy metal album reviewer. That's what he's become. And I'm sorry to say, dude, but yeah, Judas Priest's British Steel is a great album, and it does have standout tracks. I think Breaking the Law is freaking awesome. So you are mistaken to say that there's no standout tracks. I think Living After Midnight, that one is really cool too. So you're wrong even in your reviews. I mean, you did say that it was a good album, but no standout tracks. Come on, those are classic Priest. Um, oh hey Ali. All right, so I don't know, but this has nothing to do with veganism, right? But what does have something to do with veganism is that he said this in the last few weeks. I'm gonna go with from this one, the latest one that I saw, to the previous one, because the previous one is more extensive, is more of an issue. So this one is really short. So he says, to the people saying human rights has nothing to do with veganism, or say things like human rights is a missed opportunity to discuss veganism, what is your stance on failed state countries or politically corrupt dictatorship countries such as Haiti or North Korea, the forming having been seized by an armed and dangerous gangs that have control of imports, exports, and negatively impacting agriculture, food security, the latter of which being a dictatorship that made it practically impossible for its citizens to escape and are forced to rely on what the government provides as food, also facing food security problem, and both with reported slavery in the tens of thousands to low millions to this day. Please tell me how none of this has any trickle-down effect on veganism and animals. Well, I think this one is really easy to see. First of all, Haiti, they share, or they are part of an island, right? There's an island in the Caribbean that half of it, or one segment, is Haiti. The other segment is the Dominican Republic. And as you can see, they're two completely different things. Now, Haiti is a horrible hellhole of a place. I'm sorry, but it is. And the Dominican Republic, sure, it has its problems like any other country, especially Latin America. It's not a perfect paradise or anything like that, but there's way more freedom there. It's more stable economically, socially, politically. And as we can see, the Dominican Republic is not a vegan country, or is it? It's not. So what difference does it make if North Korea is a horrible, well, North Korea, Haiti is run by gangs or whatever. El Salvador was also run by gangs up to, like pretty recently, and it wasn't a vegan country. And today with all the freedom and all the good things that Presidente Bukele has done for that country, which is admirable. It's freaking amazing what he's done. He's completely turned that place from a horrible hellhole where nobody wanted to go to now Salvadorians here in the United States wanting to go there and see their country, probably from the first time in like decades. Like, yeah, it's now a place they want to go. And it was really terrible there while the gangs were in charge. And now they're not. But hey, guess what? The country is nowhere near being vegan, no, not closer to being vegan than they would have been when the gangs were running the country. So it's a non-issue. Doesn't matter if the citizens have no rights, because even when they do, they're still not vegan. So it makes no difference. Now you could say, well, it makes a difference. What if they want it to be and they can't? I mean, you know, it's really, we will have to see, there will have to be a census or of some sort to see who wants to be vegan but cannot do it because regime though, dictatorship though. I don't think so. I mean, and North Korea, well, the same thing. I mean, if you look at South Korea, their neighbors, their friendly neighbors to the south, way more. I mean, sure, they're also kind of a weird society there. I don't know. I don't really like how they run things there too. There's a lot of people unaliving themselves, if you know what I mean, especially the youth. It's a lot of societal pressures and archaic traditions and whatnot there. So, but they're way more, they have way more freedom, obviously, than they do in the North Korea. So it's not even a comparison there. So they're not vegan either. So to me, this thing about North Korea though, or Haiti though, it's not an issue. There's no vegan country even. So until that happens, I don't think this is really an issue. Okay, what are people saying in the comments? Let me see. What are you saying? My cat is eating vegan food. Thank you. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Let me see. Going well. Yes. My IG suspended. What? Ah, yeah, that happens. You know, Ali, that happens. I get a bunch of threads from Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I stopped posting controversial stuff because of that. I ended up self censoring myself to avoid any more problems. And still, I get some warnings from time to time. So I don't know what they want. Maybe what they want is scantily clad ladies taking selfies and stuff like that. That's what they like. They think that's perfectly sound material, and trying to get people to see animals as individuals is unsafe, and it's immoral, apparently. I don't know. Weird, but that's how it works. I write too much. I think lots of people report me. Ah, yeah, it could happen. But I don't know. I report a lot of people on Instagram, and they never do anything about it. They're like, yeah, we're gonna check this out and stuff. And then when I see the report in a few hours or days or whatever, yeah, we ran we investigated and we realized that there was nothing wrong with that account, and it's an animal exploitation account or something. They don't do anything about it. So, yeah, water. I need water. Okay. Martin Kevin says, I only use YouTube. And Ali says, I don't even swear or call people names or anything. Just call them numquats. It's fun, it's easy, and it passes any censorship. I only use YouTube. Yes, exactly. Well, I use YouTube and Instagram. I don't use Twitter or X or you know, or what's the other one? TikTok or anything like that. Um, just YouTube and Instagram. That's it. Um, and well, so the second point that I wanted to talk about, because this Michael Tooney guy continues to be, yeah, I bet his pants are on fire because he's a liar. He needs new pants. So please, people, subscribe to him and donate to his channel because he needs new pants because they're on fire. Oh man. And you know why he's lying? Because he wrote this a few weeks ago, which is a bunch of lies, obviously. This is from Mike, the heavy metal reviewer. He says, the amount of transphobia and bigotry I've seen in the vegan community is absolutely disgusting and heartbreaking. Yeah, also it's fake. It lives in your imagination because it doesn't exist. What's the amount of transphobia and bigotry in the vegan community? That's absolutely ridiculous. It's a baseless accusation. And this is very dangerous. And you know why this is dangerous? Because this is the type of thing that anti-vegans do and say, and they put that as an excuse to not be vegan. And, oh, I don't feel safe here. Veganism is white. Veganism is colonial. Veganism is capitalist. Veganism is this, is that. And no, dude, there's nothing of that going on. Veganism doesn't belong to a race or an economic system or a religious group or to anyone. Veganism is only an ethical stance against the exploitation of animals by humans. That's all it is. So it doesn't really belong to anyone in particular, and everyone, regardless of their opinion on any human issue. That's why we say that it's not about human rights or it's not about any human issue. We're not saying don't care about those issues. What we're saying is, regardless of that, take that aside, the animals still deserve to be free. That's what we're saying. And sorry to say this, and I know that many people, I understand that you feel strongly about some human issues and that you wouldn't want, ideally, you wouldn't want there to be like racist vegans or phobic vegans or something like that, or vegan Trump supporters, you know, but they exist. I've met a few vegan Trump supporters. I even met a vegan who is a climate change denier. What, are they not vegan? They are. It's just they have a different political opinion, and that's it. You're not gonna, you can't police every thought everyone else has, and you can't control everyone that way. Um, there's right-wing vegans. They exist. There's conservative vegans. I'm a conservative vegan. Well, I'm kind of center-right, so I'm not really some far-right nutcase with like conspiracy theories and stuff. Thankfully, but but you're not going to erase me and you're not going to kick me out of vegan spaces just because you don't like what I have to say. All right, so imagine clamoring for the end of oppression of animals, a marginalized group, while supporting an oppressive mindset towards LGBTQ plus community, also a marginalized group. And then you find ways to peer out with phrases like, what does this have to do with veganism? That's a valid question. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with it. Or veganism has nothing to do with rights. Depending on what you call rights. The right to freedom? Sure. Any other thing? Probably not. Among other deflections and excuses. No, it's not deflections and excuses. It's just that there's 8 billion people in the world. You think everyone else will be exactly a clone of you? Because they're not. This is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way when in my youth. And I know Michael, that you're like 10 years younger than I am. You're just learning, you're still learning about the ways of the world. And what I learned was that even though I had a very strict moral code, I could only control what I was doing. I couldn't really control anyone else. And even if I didn't like certain stuff that other people did, and I used to judge them very harshly for it, the truth is, I can only control myself, and I can only do what I think is best, what I think is the right thing to do. But I cannot expect everyone else to follow the exact same rules or path that I'm going through. Like it's not a thing. For example, when I was a teenager and a young adult, um, because I didn't like certain things, like for example, I was like against tattoos or piercings or drinking, smoking, or promiscuity. So I thought uh, I made two mistakes. First, thinking that others would be exactly the same as me, which they were not, and in fact, they were the complete opposite. And then I made the mistake of, wanting them to be, of trying to get them to be like I was, and thinking, oh, these people are evil because look at what they do. These people are completely lost and hopeless. And the truth is, when you're young, you're just trying to figure out the world and you're learning every day and you don't know what's what and you're trying to see what your place in this thing is. So no one is more right or more wrong on these things. It's just, we're all different, but we all kind of want the same thing because also wanted to, have fun and stuff. But my idea of fun was more, reading books and playing video games or something like that, and not so much going out, partying, drinking, and stuff. So that was my idea. So, but we still wanted basically the same thing. It's just that our idea of what that was different. Um, Let me see. What are you guys saying here? Colonies for using. Yeah, that's another thing. Now people are doing that. Now that we're spreading the word of Leslie Cross out there, and they're finding out that Leslie Cross was this British white dude from the 40s. Now they're saying that this is invalid because, oh, white dude, European white dude. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter who said it. What matters is the quality of the words, not who's speaking them. So, or who's writing it. Doesn't matter. It's not the messenger, it's the message that has value. And his message was one of emancipation, of liberation. And it is as valid when he said it as it is today. And just because a white guy said it doesn't mean it's invalid. And in fact, I would say it's the opposite. Because if you're thinking, oh, the white man is evil, and then you see a white man doing the right thing, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be progress? Wouldn't that be what you want? Huh? I thought that's what the wokies and the leftists wanted, for the white man, the evil white man, to correct the error of their ways and find out how they were evil and do good, do better. Isn't that what you're always saying? Do better. Apparently not. When they do something good, now you discard it because it's white European. Like what? Then you're the racist. And that's the problem with wokies and these woke leftist people, that there's no winning. You can't win with these people because they're always going to find something to complain about because they are perpetual complainers, perpetual victims of nothing. They make it up in their mind, and they complain about no problems. So he continues, people like that make me sick. This is him trying to win, the aforementioned woke points. Trying to see, oh, look at me, I'm one of the good ones. I'm an ally. I'm an ally. Not an ally, an ally. But no, you're not an ally. You're just an unquat trying to hang a medal on yourself, like that Obama meme of him hanging a medal on himself. And I'm ashamed to have ever let them on my channel or have any association with them. But I know beforehand how they really feel about those kinds of issues. And that's the problem that we have. That's why I say, shut up about your other stuff. You think that, I don't know, that New York rats did 9/11, then, bro, shut up about it. We're trying to be vegan here. We're trying to set the animals free from humans. You have your weird ideas of other stuff. Keep them to yourself. You have an opinion on something else. Shut it. Keep it locked in a box of your mind. Don't say it to anyone else. Are you racist? Don't say it to me. Don't say it to anyone, really. Keep it to yourself and advocate for animal liberation anyway. You're this super ultra woke person. Keep it to yourself also. I don't want to know about it. I was always getting targeted for being white, but how did they know I was white? My profile picture was a goat in a field. That's a white people profile picture, obviously, Ali. Come on. Goats are often white, yeah. Unless you're the black sheep. Get it? The black sheep? Nah. John Doe in the house. Hey, AJ. Yeah, hey. John Doe in the house. That's right. All right, so this is just him trying to hang medals on himself. So, these are also the same people that not only willingly misrepresenting my talking points from a previous community post, the bottom line was extending your moral consideration to wild animal suffering, not some excuse to kill all predators because human supremacy, though, but also have a track record of murky language and lying about and misconstruing positions they disagree with. You're the one doing that in this post. You'll want to complain about infighting as you cast your stones from a glass house echo chambers. Well, Mike, I'm sorry, you're the one with the glass house and the echo chamber, since at the end of this, you say that you're going to ban people. So you don't want to hear anything that opposes your views. And you're going to ban everyone who does. So who's the glass house? Who's the echo chamber? So how about you use that glass and take a long hard look at your reflection? Maybe you'll see what I see, pathetic. Also, when you look at your reflection, you see pathetic. I don't blame you. So he says at the end, any transphobia and bigotry apologies nonsense will result in a ban from my channel. And if you willingly let those people also support your channel, your time is up too. Goodbye, thanks for nothing, good riddance. So now he's not only banning people who disagree with him on his channel, he's telling other channels, if you have these people on your channel, I'm also banning you. But this is really amazing. This guy completely lost his marbles. I'm sorry, but this is just batshit insane. And this is really dangerous. Like I was saying at the beginning, this is dangerous behavior because he's lying here. There's no onset transphobia or bigotry in the movement. And if there was, or you consider that there is, what you have to do is reach out to those individuals who are saying these things, who have these hurtful attitudes, and say to them, like in private, hey, you're doing this thing, you're alienating these groups of people who are vulnerable and stuff. You're making them not feel welcome in vegan spaces, which would be an aberration. It's not a good thing to do. So we want to bring as many people as possible to this thing, and people look for any excuse to not be vegan, even though we know their excuses are a lie, and the real reason is they don't want to see animals as individuals, because once they do, they have to change their life, and people don't want to change what they do. They want to keep living the way they do. And this is that cognitive dissonance thing of, oh no, if I want to actually live by my values, then I have to change what I do and how I live. No. I was banned by him, but nobody else did. And Mike Who, yeah, exactly, Mike Who. George Martin's girlfriend blocked me on IG, presumably for liking someone's comment. Yeah, well, so this be a warning. Let this be a warning to everyone here, any vegan or something. If you see some problem with the community, in the sense of you see some, because I haven't seen this. That's the other thing. No, he claims to see an amount of transphobia and bigotry. That's not what I see on Instagram. I only use, like I say, YouTube and Instagram. I haven't seen any of that. What I have seen is a bunch of woke leftist intersectionals posting watermelon emojis, posting stuff about Palestine and rivers and seas and whatnot, and all eyes on this region and stuff like that. And I haven't seen any of them condemn the actions of terrorist groups of the Islamic variety. I haven't seen them condemn anything. In fact, even the Burger Dude, I don't know if you know that guy, but the Burger Dude is an account that mainly what he does is recipes. Never talks about the animals at all. He doesn't talk about veganism at all. And then when he finally posted something different to a recipe, it was some pro-terrorist BS. I sent him packing, and I was like, dude, like, go F yourself. Like, I want to talk to you. Like, you never talk about the animals, and when you finally talk about some issue, it's going to be this other thing. Like, no. Sorry, but no. Like, but the Burger Dude is just complete numquat. Uh, yeah. The way the Phantom ends the videos with "Follow me for more recipes." Yeah, that's fun. Um, so he got a catchphrase. I didn't want him to have a catchphrase, but he came up with one, and it was clever. So he did it. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. So yeah. So that's the thing. Where's the danger in this? If you say things like this publicly, which is, like I was saying, a complete lie. The problem is not only this, the problem is you're going to make those people from those communities feel, you know, not safe, and you're going to give ammunition to not be to non-vegans. Um, and we don't need more of that. We don't need to give them any more ammunition. We need to put up a united front and iron out our differences in private. That's what we should do. I love the way the Phantom. Please tell me the Phantom will come back. Who's to say? He probably will come back. He'll probably do something. We will know. He's just a character at the end of the day. So continuity is not a big thing. It was. Uh, oh man, but that was really fun to do, especially with that ending where he's like, "Oh no, who am I?" and stuff. And the clue that I put there about my episode where I say why my nickname is what it is. I keep my fingers crossed. Leslie crossed. Okay, so you know, um, so yeah, so this is something I wanted to talk about. I think this is some anti-vegan nonsense from this um, Mike the Heavy Metal Album reviewer, and it's just more stupid things that he's saying. Like ever since he's hanging out with this hairy guy and those goons, he's becoming more, terrible. I don't know what happened to him. I think the steroids ruined his brain function. I don't know. Oh man. Ah. But it is what it is. What can I tell you? You become a debate bro. That's what you turn into. Um. Oh man. So yeah, that's what I mostly wanted to say. Other than that, well, yes. Remember, I'm working on the numquat thing. I might do more live stream talking about more stuff. I have a bunch of topics here, but I'm gonna have to separate all of this because if I talk about all this, I mean, it's gonna take like hours and hours. And I'm not. I don't do those long boy streams. That's not my specialty. Uh, I just drink water and speak for about 40 something minutes. Yeah, debate bro. Yeah, that's the debate bro epidemic is terrible. And well, I guess I could talk about this at least, so superficially right now. Why these debate bros? One of the problems with them is that because they see everything in this philosophical stuff that they do, this threshold deontology or consequentialism or whatever, we need to understand that those philosophies don't end the animal slavery. Why not? Because their question is not should animals be free, which they should. Their question is how can we use animals and make it acceptable? What is the sweet spot between us enslaving others but still make it socially acceptable? That's what they're seeking, really. So the problem with that is that it's not acceptable, and you can't make animals your hostages. Um, there's no acceptable way of doing that. So exactly, Ali, veganism is not a debate. That's the problem. It's not a debate. Like the animal freedom is not to be. It's not a bargain. It's not a negotiation. There's nothing of the sort. Their freedom should just be. Because why? Because we, the humans, are the ones who enslaved them in the first place. This is a one-way thing where we impose ourselves onto them. They don't do anything to us. They are completely innocent of everything. We are guilty. We shouldn't have done any of this in the first place. So we need to stop it. That's what we should do. Any other thing like, no, but bigger cages, and what if we give cow massages, or what if we put a PlayStation 5 Pro in the chicken coop? No, that's not gonna cut it, because it doesn't matter what you give the animals. You're not giving stuff to them because you care about them. You're giving stuff to them because you need them to exploit them. So they have to be in the best condition possible for you to get the maximum amount of exploitation from them that you can. If it's egg laying hens, you need them to lay as many eggs as possible in their lifespan. So you need them to be healthy enough so that they lay as many eggs as possible and the best quality eggs possible. So that this will make you will get you more profit and stuff like that. Or if it's not profit and it's you just have some backyard hens and stuff, well, it's still for your own use, right? So you're not using them to sell them, but you're using them to consume them because you still see them as product making machines, and that they work for you when they don't. And you might be saying, yeah, but I give them food, I give them shelter, I keep them away from predators. Why should I not get something from them? It's a symbiotic relationship where I get something, they get something from me. No, it's not. They're your hostage because these animals, you're bringing them into existence to use them. You're not bringing them into existence to shield them from any harm. You're the one doing this to them. You're the reason they have to be, confined and stuff because you brought them here. The behavioral counter is like if someone's attacking a dog or a pigeon on the street and a so-called animal defender walks up and starts talking about deontological parameters instead of intervening. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. Um, yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing, right? Um, these people, that's the problem with them. They're trying to see, they see things in a scale of better, worse, better than, worse than, and they try to look for that spot where it's certain stuff would be acceptable. But the reality is that animals are individuals. Their lives belong to them, not to us. We cannot decide over them or for them. So to me, this is just, that's why veganism is deontic. It's not that vegans are these deontologists, these Kantian deontologists, that every decision that we make, we're thinking all the time, oh, well, what would a deontologist drink? How would a deontologist brush their teeth? It's not, no, we're not thinking that way. It's just that veganism is deontic. It says animals have to walk free from you, human. That's it. No negotiation, no what if, no, but maybe we can. No, there's no maybe, there's no what if, there's no spectrum, there's nothing. There's just freedom or imprisonment. And freedom is what we want. That's it. That's it. They get to walk free because they deserve it. They don't deserve anything else. They don't. There's nothing else. And we have these debate bros trying to come up with this other nonsense because they need it to happen. That's the other thing. These debate bros, they found a way to make money off veganism by presenting themselves as vegans or vegan adjacent when they're not. And what they found was the way social media works is that you have these different tribes or these different niches. I don't know how to, the plural of that. And veganism is quite an interesting niche, right? Because it's very small. It's a very small sector of the population that most people don't even know what veganism actually is. So the confusion is at a large scale, even today. So these pretenders come up with their recipes and their weightlifting programs and stuff. And it's really easy. It's really easy to do because if you market yourself as the vegan powerlifter or the vegan recipe lady or whatever, you create a specific niche for you so you don't have to compete against all the other weightlifters or recipe people, chefs or whatever out there. You occupy this small segment. So now you have not only this small segment of the vegan person who does this, but also you non-vegans also come to your channel because you're just doing harmless recipes without judging anyone. I don't judge you. You do you. You go through your own journey. Well, here's this recipe, but with this eggless cake. And no. And the same with this lifting of the non-vegan variety. He's a health coach. That's all he is. He's a plant-based health coach. And people don't realize that. He's not a vegan. He's just a plant-based health coach. That's it. He writes books. He does these, weightlifting programs and stuff that you can subscribe to. And he'll give you a booklet with the exercises and stuff. And he'll be your personal trainer too. Because that's who he is. He's a trainer. He's a weightlifter. He's not a vegan. But he found veganism to be a really easy thing to get into and be, and be noticeable because there's not many doing that. So he found a spot to be in. So did all of these people, these models. You got models, you got these exercise people, actors, whatever, you name it, chefs, all kinds of different professions calling themselves this thing vegan. And they're not. The vegan part, they forget all about it. It's not about the animals, it's about them promoting themselves and what they do. So the problem with this is that they are damaging the animal cause, derailing it, and delaying as much as possible the actual liberation of animals, because once animals are free and veganism is a global thing, they cease to exist. There's no more street outreach. There's no more debates. There's no more clickbait titles on YouTube where, Christian destroys vegan. No, because everyone is vegan now, so it's their business ceases to exist. These people who have made the animals their business, they run out of it. And because they have no other discernible talent, that's it. The end of the line for them. It's all an investment. It's all a business to them. And this is very dangerous. The very first thing Pickup Lines does is say that she's not judging anyone for kicking dogs or not. Sorry, I mean executing animals or not. Pick me, non-vegans. Yeah, exactly. The pick me vegans and stuff. Yeah, so the Tobias Leonards of the world, the Melanie Joys, the Peter Singers, what they want is to sell books, to do public speeches, and get money and make money off the animals. They don't really want animals to be free. They don't need that. They need them to continue to be slaves so that they continue to sell you more books and they continue to do what they do and get paid for it. Same with all these other non-quacks. And I'm sorry to say, but that's just what it is. Ed Winters, the same thing. I'm sorry. He's not vegan Jesus, not even close. Endless debates about utilitarian talking points. And if you respond to a utilitarian excuse with another utilitarian uh, argument, it's endless. It'll never end. But if you say, hey, dude, veganism is this, it's the freedom of animals, and the end, there's no debate, there's nowhere else to go, and that doesn't create good content, that doesn't create engagement, views, subscriptions, donations, sponsors, book deals. It doesn't, because activism is not a career path. Man alive. Like imagine, would you imagine Rosa Parks doing that? Like, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. But come on, people. Fuck yourselves, man. I discovered yesterday that human brains have been shrinking for the last 100,000 years, which was when we started eating meat regularly. Meanwhile, carnies say that meat grew our brains. But I don't know about grew our brains or if it has been shrinking. Um, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't care. Like it's not even that. That's the thing. Like eating meat. Like that's the other thing. So people, this is what they do. They talk about, oh, how to argue with a meat eater. Okay, whatever. Like what does that mean? Nothing, because there's people who don't eat meat but also exploit animals in many other ways. So what's that? Corinne Sutton? Who the heck is Corinne Sutton? I don't even want to know. So yeah, there's many, liars in this thing. There's many people taking advantage of veganism. They see it as a market opportunity instead of as an actual, um, stance for the liberation of animals. Mike the Vegan has a new video on starch growing our brains. Ah, yeah. I Mike the Vegan here. Today I have a study that says that nutritional yeast causes ball cancer. And yeah, oh man. Yeah, that's what they've been saying for a while now, that it was a starchy diet that made humans evolve their brains and whatnot. You know what? I don't think it was any particular food. I think it was just a combination of different factors. So I don't know who's to say what really did anything. But if it was starch, I'm grateful, because bloody hell do I love potatoes. Um, if there's a superfood, it's the great potato. It is. Supposedly a vegan bodybuilder. Ah, yeah, bodybuilder. Oh no, it's gonna rain apparently. Okay, people. So I think the thunders and stuff are signaling the end of the live stream. Probably. I think it's been an hour. And I think I said, yeah, at least I spoke about stuff and Joy and Friends supposedly, and the other characters all corrected. Supposedly. Ah, yeah, supposedly. Yeah, I saw that episode. Supposedly. Oh, man. Yeah. Which, by the way, I mean, I guess, well, I'm going to end the video soon, but speaking of friends and stuff, it was kind of weird seeing, I don't know, I don't want to go into that show and veganism because I'll talk for hours. It's going to be like another 5 hours talking about friends and the episodes and stuff. So no. um, what's your favorite sitcom? Ah, shikes. It is probably Friends. Friends and Seinfeld and How I Met Your Mother. I mean, I there's a bunch of sitcoms that I like, but yeah, I think the one I watched the most is definitely Friends. Like I know every episode from start to finish. I know the lines. I know what the joke's gonna be. I still laugh at it. Uh, yeah, Friends is terrible about meat and animals, though. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely terrible. Um, and I think it's really interesting that at some point where the Phoebe character was pregnant, she was craving meat, even though she was a vegetarian. And this Joey guy, he was like, okay, how about I eat vegetables for the duration of your pregnancy and you eat the meat that I would eat and I eat the vegetables that you would have eaten, so it cancels each other out and you're not eating more animals and stuff. That's a utilitarian thing, by the way, and it doesn't work that way really, but you know, that's what they did, and it is supposed to play out as a cute thing or a good thing that he did or whatever. And then the joke he says to her is like, "There's no meat in beer, right?" I stopped watching Seinfeld and Parks and Recreation because of all the meat promotions. Well, I don't know about the meat promotions on Seinfeld. Um, to my knowledge, Seinfeld, the only food related episodes that I remember are like the Soup Nazi, which was freaking hilarious, one of a classic, and probably the what was it? The one was the top of the muffin, and you could argue that the muffin is obviously was made with like dairy and stuff. So I don't know. Animal exploitation everywhere, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe because they go, oh yeah, Kramer was making sausages. That's right, yeah, Kramer, yeah. And at some point there was like a Kenny Rogers chicken place that had like this really intense neon light, and Kramer couldn't sleep. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, under the door for the cat. But I didn't see that episode. I didn't see this one. I've never seen Elaine do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, think about it. It's a sitcom that started in the 80s until the late 90s. 9 years, 9 seasons in the air. And obviously, New York stuff, it's like you weren't going to find many instances of veganism or any other thing there. I don't think they ever said the word vegan one time. But at least in the marine biologist, George did save the life of a whale. Uh, that has to count for something. I don't know. Yeah, they sure do. There's a lot of that going on. You know, it's interesting. I used to watch this sitcom. It's an early 90s sitcom. I don't know if you ever watched it because it wasn't as popular as others, but it was called Step by Step. And in the final episode, interestingly enough, they're selling the house, and then there's this couple who wants to buy the house, and they mention that they're vegan. And to me, and the final episode of that TV show, by the way, was like the year 98, I think, something like that. And I think that was probably like the first mention of veganism, probably in sitcom history, to my knowledge. I never seen any other sitcom from that era to even mention the word vegan or anything close to it. And so this couple, they were vegans, supposedly. And the funny thing is, then they mentioned that they don't cook; they order takeout all the time. And I'm like, okay, but if you're vegan and you're ordering takeout all the time, how does that work? It's 1998. There's not many vegan places doing delivery that I know of, or if any. And then they were supposed to be in this small town in Wisconsin. So small town Wisconsin, 1998, vegan delivery service? I don't think so. But it was nice. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it's a sitcom anyway. It doesn't have to make sense. But I thought it was at least nice that there was a vegan couple, apparently, in that sitcom back in the day. But you know, it's weird. It's like not. I haven't seen that anywhere else. So yeah, we still have a long way to go. Yeah, you know, many sitcoms are ruined. Like I remember this episode that I used to love of How I Met Your Mother. Um, it's called The Blitz. The episode is freaking hilarious. It is, but the problem is it's during Thanksgiving, and there's a turkey obviously on the table at the end, and they do a whole thing where a hat ends up falling atop the turkey and stuff. Is like a whole thing. It's like it's not funny. Like it used to be funny to me when I wasn't vegan, but now that I see it, I think it's absolutely morbid and not funny at all. So yeah, sitcoms have been getting ruined for me as I've been, uh, since going vegan. It's I see it in a completely different light. But yeah, mm, yeah, George Costanza, what a great character. Um, oh man, one day I'm gonna have to do his answering machine. Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out, or I pick up the phone. Where could I be? And he does the little dance and stuff. Believe it or not, I'm not home. Beep. Freaking classic George Costanza. Well, Karen laughing very hard. The Phantom Police in Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, exactly. That used to make me laugh a lot. In fact, when I wasn't vegan, but now that I'm vegan, it's kind of an interesting concept, but it's kind of weird. Turkey on Joy's head. Friends was gross. Exactly. That's another thing that used to make me laugh hysterically, and now I see it as a horrible, morbid, and tragic thing. Vegan was mentioned in House in an early episode. Yeah, House. Yeah, well, House was the mid 2000s, like 2008 or something like that. It was like so it was more modern, or 2004. I don't know. It's like in the 2000s something. So House, okay. Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I went to Toronto, and I went to the house where they filmed some of the scenes of the movie. Okay, it's called Casa Loma in Toronto. It's a really cool place with a lot of history and stuff. Okay, so there's a thunderstorm and stuff. Okay, people, I think we can leave it up to here. It's been fun. Otherwise, I'm just gonna continue talking about sitcoms and movies and stuff. We can talk about this. Yeah, that's gonna be my next live stream, probably. Yeah, sitcoms and stuff. Yeah, why not? I also wanted to talk about theme parks and the ethics of being a vegan and going to theme parks as a vegan. A subject that is near and dear to my heart So I'm gonna do that one next at some point, probably soon. Um, all right. Thank you, AJ. I didn't think so. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim. What a cool movie too. All right, people. So, and also, by the way, speaking of Scott Pilgrim, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. That Black Sheep song, that's by one of my favorite bands ever, Metric. Obviously, the version of the in the movie is sung by this actress Brie Larson, but the original version obviously is with Emily Haynes on vocals, the lady vocalist of that group. Metric is freaking awesome, so check it out if you uh, want. It's really great. Okay, people. Uh, Goodbye, and remember, follow the Phantom for more recipes. Be vegan and listen to Metric. Okay, bye.